So 3:16 now. You ready for 3:16? I'm going to smack you down again, okay? First of all, is this the curse? Does the Bible say so? Serpent is cursed. Ground is cursed. Does the Bible say people are cursed? No, it does not. If the Bible doesn't say it, then how dare we? Why should we add to the Bible? If it's not curse, then it's not necessarily something that's punishment or judgment. Is God coming as a judge to smack him down again? It wasn't enough that he took away life, took away his presence, but now he's going to hit him again. No, it doesn't suggest this is judgment or punishment. It's more parental than it is judgmental. You know, a teenager crashes a family car. The parent can say, you're grounded. That's punishment. Or a parent can say, your insurance is going to go sky high and we can't afford it, so you won't be able to drive. That's consequences. That's not punishment. There were consequences to what people chose when they chose to go out on their own. And God is enlightening them about these consequences. You're going to be desperate for order because you were living under my order, but now you've gone out on your own. And you said you're going to get it all ordered by yourself. Well, you're going to run into some problems. Okay? So this is a parental conversation. It's not a curse. It's not judgment. The text doesn't call it that, and so I don't want to either. Next, your translations often say that I will greatly increase your pain in childbearing. That makes sense if only the words meant that. Unfortunately, they don't. Everybody, every Hebrew scholar, ask anybody, would acknowledge that that word is not childbearing, it's conception. I will increase your pain in conception. That's a problem. Those of you who have kids know conception is not painful. Lots of people kind of like it. Okay? We're not talking about something that's painful here. But what happened was translators said, okay, pain in conception doesn't make sense. So we'll change that word conception to something kind of general like childbearing. Oops, wrong word. Should have focused on this one. Because itzavon, Hebrew word, this should refer to anxiety. Okay, so is there anxiety around conception?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Even today there is, when people can't have children. I mean, fertility clinics abound and they make very good money, thank you. Okay, but ancient world, oh my goodness. If a woman could not have a child, her husband could dismiss her out of hand. Her job was to have a child. And if she couldn't, she's out, and she has no support system to catch her. No safety net, no family, disgraced, outcast. If you could not conceive as a woman in the ancient world, your life's over. Is there anxiety around conception? Oh yeah.
Well, Sarah and Abraham.
Sure. He was very gracious that he didn't dismiss her. He could have done. So, I will greatly increase your anxiety. Anxiety is a word that threatens order, right? Their sense of order, stability, rest, peace, sense of well-being. Okay? This is going to be increased because they're all on their own.
She had no one to share it with, no one to take direction.
Okay, and so that leads us to the next one. Okay, so anxiety in conception, and in anxiety, you will bring forth children. This goes all the way from conception to childbirth. Is there anxiety all through that process?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. 9 months from morning sickness to labor pains, but it gets much worse than that. If that's all I had to deal with, that's bearable. But will I carry the child to term? Will I give birth to a whole child? Will I give birth to a live child? Will I survive childbirth? The good news in the ancient world, you're pregnant. The bad news, you may have just 9 months to live. I've heard numbers like 20% mother mortality. Right? 1 out of 5 of you is going to die giving birth to children. Anxiety? We don't even know the meaning of it. Okay, so what this is talking about is this dissolution of order. Nothing brings it out like this conception to childbirth and the anxiety that comes from that.
Yeah.
So this first part of 3:16 rings with this anxiety through the whole childbearing process. Remember, this is a process that was a blessing. Be fruitful and multiply. That still stands. You can still be fruitful and multiply, but wow, you're on your own out there, and it's a tough world. Now we can make sense of the second part. Your desire will be for your husband.
No, what does that mean?
I feel so badly that a couple of translations really exploit that. Your desire will be contrary to your husband, one translation says. Your desire will be to control your husband, one translation says. I'm sorry, they are over-reading the text. That is not built into this word. The word is teshukah. It occurs only 2 other times.
Contrary.
Yeah.
It's even ESV, contrary.
Yeah, ESV is
To your
contrary. NLT is to control. Okay? But that is a serious overreading. This term applies to someone's impulses, their inclinations, whatever they might be. Okay? So they're teshukah. Now, so her, in light of this anxiety through the childbearing process, and that anxiety, her impulse, her inclination is going to be toward her husband. Why? Because you find order in that relationship. You find support. You find love and care. In the ideal world, this is how it's supposed to be, right? And it goes on to say, he will rule over you. Our modern culture, remember, we say, "Whoa, no!" But that's our culture. They live in a hierarchical world, and hierarchy to them was order.
Yeah.
And we might not like that, and we might not think so. Sorry, it's not your world. In their world, hierarchy and structure brought safety and stability. So your desire, you will seek out your husband when your whole world seems to be falling apart and your life is hanging in the balance, and you're going to expect to find that stability in him.
Amen.
He will rule. Rule, that verb is used throughout the Old Testament. It's a pretty common verb, and it is benevolent. Yes, everybody knew there were lousy kings. Everybody knew those things, but mashal is a word that describes God as well. A benevolent rule that brings order and brings stability. So this isn't saying that all societies are supposed to think this way. It's reflecting how Israelite society worked, because it's their culture, it's their text.
But the